Alrighty, welcome everybody. So I've been getting a lot of comments asking for a wide variety of hunter builds. To be honest, hunters, they typically build almost always the same. Now it does, there's different builds for different game modes as well. I'm going to go over mainly some conquest ones and also an arena build, and also optional items that you can go with. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I have Euler here, and I got all the stacks for all the stack items I picked up. So that's why my stats are really high. Okay, so first off, you don't start with Deathbringer. I was just testing things. So conquest. Typically, how hunters roll is pick up Death's Toll and then start with start working up Heart Seeker. Now the trick with Heart Seeker is you see this a lot in tournament play and league play where you have some experience with your hunter and you don't die that often. If you keep dying as a hunter, you're not gonna have a good time with Heart Seeker, because if you look at the passive, your stacks are cut in half on death. So if you're kind of new to the hunters and you're playing conquest or whatever, Heart Seeker may not be for you. I'd recommend picking up Devourer's Gauntlet. Have that as your first item that replace Heart Seeker. Dev Gloves, they give you the power, the life steal, and after you have your full stacks of 60, it does give you quite a bit of power, and it doesn't cut in half every time you die, so it's more newbie friendly, and it's also pretty cheap. I'm not gonna try to sell it and buy it back, but this is pretty much what I've been seeing as far as league play and tournament play. Is Death's Toll, Heart Seeker. Sometimes I see people they will stack up 2 stack items in a row, so it'd be like Heart Seeker, Death Gloves, then Boots. But I've also been seeing Heart Seeker, Boots, and then Dev Gloves, and then go on to Executioner. The reason why Executioner is to pick up that more attack speed and also really high penetration. And then from there, I've been seeing a Rage, and then finally go back sell Death's Toll for Deathbringer. Now I've also been seeing like instead of the whole Deathbringer Rage, I've been seeing like some Shins and like what's it called, Bloodforge. But this would be something that I would roll with right now. This is a pretty solid build. Now if you don't pick up Heartseeker at all, I probably replaced I'll probably go, let's do Death's Toll first. Death's Toll's first, then Dev Gloves, then I'll probably go to Boots, and then I would go to Executioner, then Shin Size, and then Rage, and then Deathbringer at the very last. So with the Deathbringer, with running this nice little combination of items here. Also actives. Actives are pretty much the same. It's been the same meta for a while. Is Purification Beads and Sprint. In team fights, the Purification Beads are going to come in handy quite a bit because you may get focused down since you are, the carry. So this is going to help you get out of some sticky situations. Also, Sprint is really nice as well for either chasing down somebody or running away. Now, I can tell with this build right away, we have an insane amount of power. We have 275 power. That's a lot of power, and 1.7 attack speed. It's not the greatest, but it's pretty doable. So, I mean, that's our basic attacks looking right there. Now with Euler, R2 grants us additional power by another like 50 points or so. When we use R2, we get boosted up to 325 physical power with all this crit that we have. It's certainly a lot of power. And this is out, without red buff. So let's go ahead and try some damage out on Robot. Let me get my 2 back up here soon. Here we go. So as you can see, we crit all the way up to like 900. Of course, that's with our 2. So as you can see, our damage, goes from like low 600s, medium 600s, and it jumps up to 800, 900s. What you're seeing right there is the power of the Executioner, applying those stacks, just lowering your enemy's physical defense. That way, you can just shred them apart. And it works really well against tanky people. So that's pretty much the basis for that as far as conquest. Now overall, for more basic standard in arena, this is going to kind of pain me to sell these stack items because that took a little bit to do. Okay, so let's sell this. Alright, so basically in arena, I would typically go with Warrior Tabby first, then I would pick up Shins, Aussie, I get crit early because arena doesn't last too long, and then finally I probably get whatever I need, executioner. I may switch that around depending on if I'm fighting a lot of tanks. I'll probably get like executioner earlier. But this is pretty much these are the core items that you typically see on hunters in arena. I mean, these all work out pretty well. With this exact build here, you notice a severe drop in our power, because that's because obviously we have no stack items. But our attack speed is really, really high, 2.2. Use our 2 to get up to 220 physical power. So I mean, that's overall pretty good. That's pretty much the basis of that. And as far as assault, how I start my hunters in assault, I pick up Aussie first, and that gives me plenty of gold left over to buy full salvation. I highly recommend salvation for all gods and assaults because it helps out your team, you know, getting everybody healed up and getting everybody mana. It's a really great item. That's how I start off, and then from Aussie I just go into boots and rest of the core items here. So I don't think I've missed out on too much. This pretty much covers mainly all hunters. I mean, they don't have that much of a variety. I mean, you can choose. I mean, feel free to experiment around. So that's gonna wrap it up for the video. Hope this helps you guys out, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.